Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Today is 15th of March and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper. Okay guys, so now let's get started with the session. Before moving in this particular session, I would like to take a brief overview of the newspaper so that you can understand placement of articles and also you can understand that which articles are important for the examination and where to find them. So here we are going to take the overview. So here we have the Delhi edition of Hindu newspaper. First article that we can read here is panel recommends simultaneous polls. This particular article talks about the simultaneous elections in India. We'll take this particular article and we'll understand that what has happened. Poll bonds, 22 firms donated over 100 crore, BJP got highest share. So recently we have seen that electoral bond scheme was invalidated by Supreme Court and it was asked that election commission should receive the information from State Bank of India as which political party got how much donation in electoral bond, and that particular information is to be made available in public domain. So here information has been given and breakup of different political parties getting the money through electoral bonds have been given. However, guys, I will not advise you to go too much in detail in this particular article, seeing the nitty-gritties that, okay, how many crore donated to which party and all such kind of things, not very much important. Fine. Then further moving on, we'll find a way for people without document to apply under CA. There is one more article also on Citizenship Amendment Act that has been there in the newspaper. We'll see that. Then further moving on, guys, after that, uh, we have largely here the political articles. Nothing much important has been given. Law and order related issues are there. So we will just be moving from this particular section as much important things have not been given. And directly will reach to editorial page because till the editorial page nothing much importance has been there. Now moving on, Metro Plus page, Mehroli, a place of rich history. Now, here we have this article in issuing AI advisory, MeTI becomes a DT. So MeTI stands for Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Fine, it has become a DT means that it has recently certain orders were issued by MeTI on AI, artificial intelligence, its regulation. However, it has been said that this is too much intrusion and that particular order is being criticized. Guys, I have read this entire article, but the article doesn't contains much of academic substance relevant for our examination. More of outright criticism of MeTI, etc. has been given. So I'll not advise you to go too much in detail. Uh, Inevitable collapse by calling of their alliance, BJP, JJP have sought to appease their base. Fine. So this is with respect to the political developments happening in the state of Haryana, where chief minister has also resigned. Fine. Then moving on, guys, here we have this article, Bhutan's opening move, it's Guelphu Gambit. We'll see this particular article for examination. Fine. This particular article talks about the US. Fine. Republicans and Democrats need alternative vision to articulate vision. Okay, articulate voices. Then has poverty really dropped to 5% in India? We'll see this particular article. Recently consumption expenditure survey was released which had on whose basis it has been said that poverty has gone down to below 5%. So we'll take this particular development. Then further moving on in this capacity, we come to text and context, CA and the status of judicial proceeding. We'll take this particular article. What are the causes of flare up in Eastern Congo? And here playing politics, Bollywood movies goes into poll mode. Nothing much important is there. Then further moving on, here guys, largely we have political articles. Largely we have the political articles. So no need to go in these for your exam point of view. Here we have this article, Modi will travel to Bhutan next week. We'll see this particular article. Study flags mixed implementation of Forest Right Act. We'll see this particular article also. Center unveils project for cashless treatment of road crash victims. We'll see this article also. Government blocks 18 OTT platform because obscene content, nudity, etc. was shown on that. Fine. India likely to start free trade deals with EA, EU. So basically, India is considering the free trade agreement with the Eurasian Economic Union. Fine. So from very long it is being contemplated. Then moving on in business page, wholesale food inflation sped up in Feb on onion, tomato. Fine. Then guys, largely we have the corporate trends, etc. here in this particular direction. And then in the world page, here we have these two developments. Sri Lanka get bomb disposal device through Chinese grant. So we have seen that the China is investing heavily in Sri Lanka in infrastructure, and other grants for other aspects also are being given by China to Sri Lanka. And here we see that in bomb disposal, China has given the grant to Sri Lanka. Now Sri Lanka's closeness to China is always a concern for India, because we have seen that the China has used India's neighbors fine to increase its clout on India. Then UK government release new guidelines on extremism. And then guys, we have the sports section. Okay, now let's get started, and let's discuss all these relevant articles one by one in detail. And as I've told you that you can download the synoptic notes of this particular session from Telegram channel. Link for Telegram is given in description box in YouTube. Now every class we start with a GS quotation, and the idea of this GS quotation is to give you content so that you can use it in your examination. So today we are going to take quotation from Samuel Richardson. So Samuel Richardson says that calamity is the test of integrity. Calamity is the test of integrity. Now understand this thing, that when the times are good, when the situations are congenial, when the time is comfortable, people can easily show their integrity. But in calamity, in the times of deprivation, in the times of adversity, one's true integrity can be seen. Because if you truly have integrity, okay, now what integrity means, first of all, so integrity happens to be a moral value which pertains to holding the highest which pertains to having the highest standards of honesty. Also, integrity pertains to maintaining a coherence between what you think, what you say, and what you do. So if these things are aligned, it means integrity. Okay, now integrity happens to be one of an active value of adherence to the highest moral principles. So when this integrity will be portrayed, the true test of integrity will happen into the times of calamity, in the times of deprivation, in the times of adversity. So this idea can be used in GS paper number 4 ethics. GS paper number 4 ethics, integrity and aptitude. Now moving on, and let's discuss first article. Panel recommends the simultaneous polls. Okay, this article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2, issues related to polity, issues related to elections in India. Now let's understand this particular issue. So basically guys, understand that we see that every year India is having election in some of the states, or general election is going on. We know that 2024 there will be general election, okay, but apart from that, even 23 there were elections, 22 there was election, 21 there was the election. It has been said that because of this particular thing, what happens, national leaders are always in election mode, they are always in the campaign mode. And when elections are announced, model code of conduct is applied. Now when the model code of conduct is applied, new programs cannot be taken up, new schemes cannot be introduced. Okay, it disturbs the governance. Okay, so it has been proposed that we need to have simultaneous election, or idea of one nation, one election is given. That Lok Sabha election as well as state assembly election should happen simultaneously. In this capacity, guys, recently Government of India constituted a committee under former President of India, Mr. Shri Ramnath Kovind. Okay, so under the former President, Mr. Ramnath Kovind, the committee was constituted, that you need to check the feasibility of simultaneous election. Now this particular committee has given its report, and in this particular report they have recommended that simultaneous election for Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly should be conducted. So they said that first step is that we need to conduct Lok Sabha and states assembly elections simultaneously, and after that, after the gap of 100 years, my apologies, after the gap of 100 days, there should be municipal and panchayat elections that should also be held. So there will be a cycle that will be made, that is, one, there will be Lok Sabha and state assembly elections that are happening, and after 100 days there will be the panchayat and the urban local body election will happen, and this will be done, and the next cycle will be after 5 years. So this is something that has been suggested. Also, there is a 22nd Law Commission that is also investigating this particular matter. And 22nd Law Commission also will give its report soon on the simultaneous election. But as of now, Ramnath Kovind Committee has given approval for simultaneous election. One thing you need to understand that this particular committee will not be implemented in 2024 election. If government accepts it, maybe in 2029 it will be implemented, but for 2024 nothing is going to happen. Now basically guys, what are advantages and disadvantages of simultaneous election that we are going to understand here. Now first of all, understand this particular thing, that there are some very clear advantages. Number one, it will reduce overall cost. You see this particular thing, that what is happening when once election are being conducted, where people are voting for both Lok Sabha as well as state assemblies. Okay, now understand, Lok Sabha elections are separate, state assembly elections are being held at the separate time. Fine. And during this time there are the electoral EVM machines that are to be deployed. Fine. Security arrangements are to be done, infrastructure is to be used. Okay, so duplicacy will be reduced if simultaneous elections will be held, and it will lead to the saving of money. Next, less frequent disruptions will be there. So we have seen that whenever the election is there is a model code of conduct that is applied. So because of that, governance gets disrupted, new schemes are not announced. So this MCC will be applied once in every 5 years. So frequent disturbance in governance will not happen. Enhanced policy implementation. Now see what is happening. Fine, because every year there is election in one or the other part of the country, government has to appease people, and often freebies, such schemes which are not financially sustainable, are announced. Okay, because now see, many number of times certain steps have to be taken which might not make voters happy in the immediate term, but they are essential. But government cannot do this. Why? Because all the time they are concerned about their vote bank. So basically, if in once a 5 year there is election, government can focus on governance without appeasing the people, and can actually focus on long-term policies. Then higher voter engagement. Okay, so it has been seen through empirical studies that when only one layer of election is there, voter vote more enthusiastically. Then there are certain disadvantages, certain criticisms also that are there. Number one is a diluted state focus. So understand this thing, that basically national issues and local issues are different. But when there will be simultaneous election, national issues will overshadow local issues. And people, now see what might happen. You might want that, okay, in the center, X party is doing good work, so in center X should be there. But for your state, you believe that the Y political party has done the good work. Okay, but what will happen in simultaneous election? National issues or the party having a national appeal will overpower the local issues, okay, or the local contenders. Logistical challenges. Now the next challenge is that having the election in the entire India at once, is it logistically possible? Is it feasible? Then the next is fixed term rigidity. Now see, as a 5-year cycle is there. Okay, the point is that see, some now in democracy, fine, people have the power. Okay, so basically guys, understand this thing, that basically if there is a political crisis, okay, if a no confidence motion is passed against a particular government, how basically the change will happen? Okay, rigidity will come in the system. Threat to federalism, it might centralize political power in the hands of the center. Now, as this simultaneous election we are discussing, in order to implement it, some changes in constitution are also required. Let's understand that. Number one, Article 83, Article 85, Article 172, 174, 356 are the articles that will need amendment. Article 83 relates to the duration of the houses of parliament. Now the duration of houses of the parliament, fine, is 5 years. Lok Sabha duration is 5 years. Now understand this thing, that however, if no confidence motion is moved against a particular council of minister, and let's say if they resign, and no other political party or no other group is, let's say, is in a condition to prove their confidence in the house, then the new elections are to be conducted. Okay, so Article 85 deals with the dissolution of the Lok Sabha by the president. This dissolution can happen when no confidence motion is passed. So understand this thing, that if we want to maintain a cycle of 5 years, we need to bring some changes so that this premature dissolution doesn't happen, because if premature dissolution will happen, that cycle will break. Okay, Article 83 provides a fixed term. Okay, it relates to the duration of the house. Okay, so here the changes are to be done. Similarly, we have Article 172 and 174 for the state. Article 356 allows for the president rule in the states under certain condition. Okay, so basically it has been provided that with respect to president rule also the changes are to be brought so that imposition of president rule does not disrupt the cycle of simultaneous elections. So these are some of the constitutional provisions that are to be amended. So this is guys all about it. Now here one mains question we can also take on the similar kind of a thing, and as simultaneous election is so much in the news, a question can be expected. So let's discuss a kind of a question, a tentative question. So the question is like this: examine the concept of simultaneous elections in India. Discuss its potential benefit and challenges, considering its impact on governance, administrative efficiency, and democratic process. Also analyze how it might require amendment to the constitution and possible consequences. This will be a 15 marker question, 250 words. Okay, that is all about it. And now moving on, and let's discuss the next article. Bhutan's opening move, its Guelphu Gambit. Bhutan's opening move, its Guelphu Gambit. Now, this particular article, guys, it is talking about, this article first of all will be important for our GS paper number 2, international relation, India and neighborhood relations. India and neighborhood relations. Within India and neighborhood, India, Bhutan, we are going to see this. So basically, guys, this article, it talks about the Guelphu project. So what actually Guelphu project is all about? So Bhutan is contemplating to develop a new city, a new town by the name of Guelphu. It will be in the vicinity of, basically this particular town will be in Bhutan, near Assam, around the border of Assam, and this Guelphu, formally it will be called as the Guelphu Mindful City. Guelphu Mindful City. Now this will be a state of the art city that will promote economy and well-being. Now this particular city will be designed to house non-polluting industry such as IT industries, education related ventures, hotel industry, hospital and hospitality. Fine. So all these particular things will be developed in this Guelphu city, and it will be developed as a carbon neutral city. Carbon neutral city means the carbon emission that it is emitting and the carbon that is capturing will be balanced out. Okay. So now here Bhutan wants that the countries should invest. And it expects India also to invest in this Guelphu Mindful City, and it is being promoted as an investment, health and wellness hub of Bhutan. Now basically guys, this is a kind of a movement that is going on in the world countries, that countries what they are doing, they are moving towards more sustainable and climate conscious type of cities. For example, if you have heard, there is Saudi Arabia's Neom city. Indonesia is developing Nusantara. Okay. Now these cities, they are sustainable. They are developed on the model of sustainability. They are developed on the model of climate consciousness. If you see, there are the other renowned cities also, such as Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore. Now they are just a financial hub which aims to attract more and more investment. Climate consciousness is not there in these cities, but these new cities such as Saudi Arabia's Neom, Indonesia's Nusantara, Bhutan's Guelphu, they are focused on the model of sustainability. Now, this particular city, Guelphu, I told you it is in the vicinity of Assam. So it lies on the crossroad of India's Act East policy. Now, when we talk about the India's Act East policy, India wants to integrate the northeast of India and India in general also with the economies of East Asia, Southeast Asia. Now, when we talk about this particular thing, what is actually India is doing? India is trying to integrate itself towards the eastern neighbors. And as this Guelphu city is being developed, we can inculcate the Guelphu also into the look east paradigm of India, Act East paradigm of India. So it comes in crossroad of India's Act East policy. Also it comes at the crossroad of ASEAN, Indo-Pacific region. So it will be converging all these particular areas. Now, this particular Guelphu project of Bhutan, it faces certain challenges also. First challenge is, what challenges it faces? Number one challenge that it faces is that when we talk about the Guelphu and this particular area of Bhutan is more vulnerable to high rainfalls. And as climate change patterns are, as the climate is changing, as glaciers are melting more rapidly because of the climate change, etc., this particular area will become even more vulnerable to the untimely rains, flooding, etc. Also, Guelphu, it is located in close proximity of wildlife corridors. Fine. Also, if you see historical insurgency, such as for example, when we talk about the northeast Assam, there have been insurgencies, and because of these insurgencies, Guelphu might face certain security challenges. Now you see insurgencies in Assam and other northeastern states, fine, as well as the hideouts that they are having in Myanmar has been an area of great concern for Bhutan. And because of that, what actually happened, Operation All Clear was also carried, where Bhutan also supported. Fine. So this Operation All Clear was carried in 2003. Bhutan, along with the Indian Army, aimed to drive out militants who are finding refuge in this particular area. So insurgency will be a very big challenge for Guelphu city. Also, when we talk about Guelphu, it is a landlocked area and it is dependent on other countries for connectivity. For example, India. Okay, for example, India. So this is one issue. Then guys, understand this thing, Bhutan historically has been dependent on tourism, travel, fine. But now hydropower, but now Bhutan wants to move to the other areas of economic engagement, and therefore it is exploring such a city. Now for India also, GMC, Guelphu city is important. Why for India it is important? Now see, India if will not connect with Bhutan meaningfully, Bhutan might go near to the China. Recently, Bhutan and China has signed a deal also onto the boundary delimitation. Okay, so it is very much important. It is very much important for India to engage with Bhutan, and Guelphu can be one excuse, can be one opportunity for engaging Bhutan in constructive direction. Now, there are certain way forward, certain suggestions that need to be focused. Number one, Guelphu project. It involves developing a Guelphu airport so commercial air flights, full-size aircrafts can land here. Right now, Paro airport of Bhutan is a very small airport, cannot accommodate big commercial flights. So understand this thing that these things might have certain environmental cost. Bhutan needs to reconsider that. Okay, and developing this this big infrastructure project such as an airport in Guelphu, it will need expertise as well as financing from India. So India need not to shy, India need to support. Also, if you see that whenever the Bhutan has requested anything from India, India has not rejected it. Find 50% of Bhutan's total FDI comes from India. Okay, New Delhi also doesn't want to miss the opportunity in Bhutan deliberately, because we did not took the opportunity in Sri Lanka and China entered and now has taken over Hambantota port for 99 years of lease. So in order to avoid the presence of China in our backyard, India has to invest. Okay, now also there is a thing that this Guelphu mega smart city will not be giving any return right now. It will be having a long gestation period, but India not expecting immediate return, need to invest in the Guelphu. Now also guys, see, there is the countries that are moving towards a tribal foreign policy. Now what is tribal foreign policy? Countries are moving and are finding their vibe, and for finding their tribe are getting engaged with more like-minded countries and are giving more focus on immediate neighbors. So India also needed to ensure focus on neighbor, that is Bhutan. Now, when we talk about Guelphu faces the challenges with terms of connectivity. Now, India also has faced a lot of challenges on the connectivity projects. For example, you see North-South Transport Corridor. Fine, it is a project connecting Central Asia, Central Asia, Iran, and India. But if you see North-South Transport Corridor, it is not a big starter because of Western sanctions that are there. Then there was, then there was Then there was the India Middle East Economic Corridor through the UAE that was to be passed, fine, which was agreed by Israel, India, US, UAE, but it is also not picking up. Why? Because of the Houthi attacks that are going on. So basically, India itself is facing challenges. Fine, Bhutan project might face the challenges. India needs to have this particular imagination that how such challenges can be resolved, can be helped by the India. So that is all about it. Now, mains question on this particular issue could be something like this. The strategic importance of Guelphu Mindful City project in the context of Bhutan's economic, oh sorry, the question will be like this. Okay. Discuss the strategic importance of Guelphu Mindful City project in the context of Bhutan's economic development and regional connectivity. How can India leverage this project to enhance its Act East policy, GS paper number 2 IR? Okay, so this is about it. And now moving to next article. CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act and the status of judicial proceedings. CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act and the status of judicial proceedings. Now this article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2, issues related to polity and governance. Issues related to polity and governance. Now, first of all, before going in this particular article, let's understand some basic background information and then we'll go in the detail of this particular article. So basically, what has happened just a few days back, first of all, step number 1, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was passed. Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was passed. Now, what is the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019? It provided for the fast track granting of citizenship. Fast track granting of citizenship to just a minute, to the 6 non-Muslim communities. 6 non-Muslim communities. Who are these 6 non-Muslim communities? They are the Hindus, Sikh, Buddhist, Parsi, Christian and Jain. From which country? From Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Okay. So basically guys, these 6 non-Muslim communities, they are believed to be minorities in these 3 countries, that is the Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, and it has been seen that they have faced religious persecution in these countries. They are not safe in these countries. So they are to be allowed to come in India and they are to be given a citizenship. Fine. So therefore, these 6 communities from these 3 countries, citizenship norms were relaxed by the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Now, what norms were relaxed? First of all, what happened? Citizenship Act of 1955 was amended and a new provision was added in section 2 subclause 1 subclause B. It defines illegal migrants. So one amendment was brought and it was said that undocumented immigrants from these 6 communities that we discussed who entered India on or before 31 December 2014, whom the central government has exempted under the Passport Act 1920, Foreigners Act 1946, would be eligible for citizenship under 1955 Act. Means they are not ineligible. Communities, 6 communities that we mentioned, if they enter India before 31 December 2014, and even if let's say they are not having a valid passport, okay, they are still eligible for citizenship. Also guys, what was done? Basically, citizenship through naturalization process here was also eased. If any person wants to get citizenship through naturalization, 11 years of residence in India is needed. But in these communities cases, it was reduced to 5 years. So 2019, this act was passed. 2014, now 2014-2019, 5 years gap. So people, they are eligible to get the Indian citizenship. According to an intelligence bureau report, 30,000 people might get citizenship by this particular step. However, it has also been provided that it will not be applicable to the areas of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura. Some of the areas have been exempted. Now, minority community, particularly Muslims, they have a concern. What concern they have? They have, see this particular thing, 2 things are happening side by side. Citizenship Amendment Act and then there is a NRC. National Register of Citizens. So basically guys, government is making NRC, National Register of Citizenship, and then there is a Citizenship Amendment Act. Now you see this particular thing. What has happened already? National Register of Citizens was prepared for Assam in 2021 and 19 lakh people were did not found their name in this National Register of Citizen. 19 lakh people did not found their name. Okay, now it has been said that for a country we will prepare an entire NRC, and there will be the lakhs and lakhs of people who might not have their name in the NRC. They might not have the document to prove their citizenship. Okay, now it has been said that let's say just a type idea, 50 lakh people did not have documents, okay, relevant documents, and are not included in NRC. 50 lakh. Now in this 15 lakh, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Parsi, Christian, Jain, they will get the citizenship through the Citizenship Amendment Act. Muslims will not get it. So it has been said, so it is being feared by the Muslim community that this CA has the potential to disproportionately impact Muslims residing in India. In the event of people being excluded from NRC, non-Muslim may have an opportunity to get included through CA, but Muslims will not be included. So Muslims have a fear. Okay. Now guys, understand this particular thing. Understand, just a minute. Also, what has happened? Also, I told you what has happened, that the process of getting Indian citizenship has been eased. Now, there is also one more dimension that is coming here. Let's understand this particular dimension. So, basically, this CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, it is being said that it is an attempt to subvert Assam Accord of 1985. Now, what is the Assam Accord of 1985? So, basically, guys, this Assam Accord was signed after the protest from ASU, all Assam Student Union. So basically 1960s 70 was a period when lot of illegal migrants were coming to Assam, and this Assam Accord of 1985 was signed. According to this Assam Accord, what happened? People who entered in Assam before 1966, fine, they will be considered as the citizens of India. Citizenship will be given to them. People who entered Assam from 1966 to 71, they are eligible to get the citizenship. And people who entered Assam after 71, after 1971, they will be deported from the country. They will not get citizenship, they will be deported. So the cutoff of getting citizenship is till 1971. Okay, after 1971 you will not get any citizenship. Okay, but now what is happening? Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, it has brought the cutoff date to 2014. So people in Assam, they are worried. They say that okay, the people who entered after 1971 also, they will get a citizenship. This is something that is coming. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that see, some people have even challenged that. It has been said that even 1971 deadline should not be there. Deadline should be in 1948, 1950 deadline should be there. So this Citizenship Amendment Act, this Assam Accord of 1985. Now, one more thing I want to tell you. When this Assam Accord was signed, there was a section 6A that was added, fine, to the Citizenship Act. Now, just one thing I would like to show you. Now, we have here Article 6. Just a minute. Now see, earlier at the time of independence, Bangladesh was not there. Bangladesh was the part of Pakistan only. It was East Pakistan. Article 6 of the Constitution. Rights of citizenship of certain person who have migrated to India from Pakistan. Now here if you see, you read Article 6. Just a minute, I'll use a different color pen. You read Article 6 subclause 1 and Article 6 subclause 2. Fine. So here cutoff date that is mentioned is 1948. Fine. So the cutoff date that has been mentioned here is 1948. Fine. You might have read it in your Lakshmikant also. But Assam Accord is putting the cutoff date to 1971. Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 is putting the cutoff date to 2014. Okay, people are already criticizing that this 1971 cutoff date why you have brought. Okay, Constitution mentions 1948. So section 6A of Citizenship Act, It violates the Article 6. It violates Article 6. This controversy is already going on. So people are not happy even with this 1971 deadline, and you have brought 2014 deadline. So first of all, already 1971 deadline is being questioned in the court, Supreme Court. Fine. Fine. So just keep this particular thing in your mind. Keep just this particular thing in your mind. Now coming back to the article. So section 6A. What is section 6A again? Section 6A was added in Citizenship Act to provide for the cutoff date of 1971 in line with the Assam Accord. Fine. So section 6A determines who is a foreigner in Assam by establishing March 24, 1971 as a cutoff date. Okay, who came between 1966 to 71 will are eligible for citizenship. After 1971, they are not eligible. This particular provision is being investigated now. If Supreme Court said, okay, now if 1971 is upheld as a valid cutoff date for the entry into the state, CA can also be held to be violative of Assam Accord because it is bringing a different timeline, 2014. Okay, so there are so many of these challenges that are there, and right now, up till now, Supreme Court judgment has not come in this particular direction. Supreme Court judgment has not come in this particular direction. So we need to see that what will happen. Okay, now what can be the main question on this? Discuss the implication. The main question can be discuss implication of Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 on India's secular fabric and constitutional values. Evaluate the challenge it poses in the context of Assam Accord and broader implication for India's citizenship framework, 2050 words, GS2. Okay, so this is all about this article. I hope that you have understood it, and now let's move to next article. Has poverty really dropped to 5% in India? Has poverty really dropped to 5% in India? Fine. Let's discuss this particular article. Now, this article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 3, issues related to Indian economy. Now, first of all, what development has happened recently? So basically, recently, first of all, NSO, National Statistical Office, under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, released Household Consumption Expenditure Survey. Household Consumption Expenditure Survey. Now understand this thing, this Household Consumption Expenditure Survey last was done in 2011-12, then it was done in 2017-18. However, this 2017-18 survey report was not released, saying that there is inaccuracies, and now it has been released again. Now, on the basis of this Household Consumption Expenditure Survey, Niti Aayog has claimed that less than 5% of Indians now live below the poverty line. It has been said that consumption have increased, people below the poverty line, their number has been reduced. Okay, so let's understand this particular article, that whether this is true or not. So number one are the arguments in favor of the claim that poverty has dropped to less than 5% in India. So here we find this particular thing, that we see that consumption patterns have improved. Okay, here it has been seen that the consumption has increased by 40% in the last 11 years. Now see, when you will consume more, if your expenditure on consumption is increasing, it means that you are earning more, because if you don't have money, you cannot consume. So basically it has been said that the consumption has increased by 40% in the last 1 year. So as consumption is increasing, we can very clearly ascertain that the poverty is going down. Also, it has been said that there is an increase in wages. Fine, 3.2% increase in agriculture worker wages has happened in 2011. So wages are going up, consumption is going up, means poverty is coming down. Also, it has been said that many other date surveys also by the periodic labor force survey, fine, if we analyze the tax records, we find that the incomes have increased. And it has been said that when we talk about the now guys, one concept just I want to explain you. When we talk about the Tendulkar committee, it gave poverty line at 27 rupees for rural India, 27 rupees for rural India and 33 rupees for urban India. Okay, if find 27 rupees and 33 rupees. So this is the poverty line. So it has been seen that if we see this particular poverty line, poverty has actually come to just 2%. Why? Because more people are earning, their incomes are going up, already we have seen here. Now there are the arguments that are made against this particular claim. First of all, the argument that is made is that basically you need to see that current poverty line fine, is inadequate. Current poverty line is inadequate. You see Tendulkar committee poverty line 27 rupees. Do you think it is possible that a person can survive at 27 rupees in a rural India or 33 rupees in urban India? It is said that the current poverty line, it is not indicative of poverty. Okay, fine. Then there are the data reliability issues that are also being said. It is said that the reliability of the data that is collected here, it is disputed. And then also there is a discrepancy between consumption and income growth. Now see this particular thing. It has been said that consumption expenditure is increasing, but are the real wages increasing? Are the real wages increasing? Now see, real wage takes in account the effect of inflation. If we see particularly after 2017 and particularly after the pandemic, wages have went down. Fine, particularly in the sector of construction. So they say that there is a dramatic increase in consumption. Fine, in top 10 or 15% of the population, but consumption for other people have not increased and the real income has not increased. Nutritional well-being is neglected. Nutritional well-being is neglected. Now understand this thing that you are focused. Now see, just I give you one data. According to the SOFI report, a healthy diet cost $1.9 in India. $1.9 in India. If I just take the dollar price for today, okay, if I just take the dollar price for today, so today dollar price is 82.91. Today dollar price is 82.91. Fine. So around 150 plus rupees is needed for a healthy diet. Fine, a healthy diet, a nutritious diet. Okay, and you are saying that a person surviving at 27 rupees in rural and 33 rupees in urban is not poor. Okay, so point is that it does not make a much of a sense. In 27 rupees, a person might be able to eat food, but might not be able to eat nutritious food. Fine. So nutrition well-being is neglected. Now, what is the way forward? Way forward is that number one, we need to reassess the poverty line. Fine, because this poverty line of Tendulkar committee 27 and 33 rupees is too much redundant and is not right in the present context of time. Improve data quality and transparency, put in the public domain the data, the unedited reports, data profiles, etc., so that people can understand that whether the data collection exercise was fair or not. Address inequality which has increased and focus on nutritional security. Now, mains question on this particular article could be something like this. The adequacy of the poverty line is crucial for accurate poverty assessment and policy formulation. In the light of this statement, examine the current methodology used in India for defining poverty line and suggest improvements. Okay, moving on. Center unveils project for cashless treatment of road crash victims. Now, this article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 4 ethics and GS paper number 2 social justice. Now, guys, understand one particular thing, that when a person meets accident, okay, and till the time that person is rushed to a hospital, the time in between is called as golden hour. So the time a person met an accident and the time till which the person will be given the medical assistance, this period is golden hour. Many people in golden hour don't receive the medical care. Because of that, a lot of fatalities happen, a lot of people die. Sometimes people are hesitant to take the road accident victims to the hospital because there will be a lot of legal formalities, hassles that will be there. But already government has brought good Samaritan guidelines. Okay. Now sometimes people are losing their lives because though they are reached to the hospital, but they don't have any attendant with them often. Often they don't have any family member. Okay, and they might not have money. So they are refused the treatment. So therefore what has happened here, the Road Transport and Highway Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has come out with a project of providing cashless treatment of 1.5 lakh rupees to all the victims of the road accidents. Okay. Now this pilot project has been started in Chandigarh. So victims, they will be entitled to receive a cashless treatment of 1.5 lakh rupees, and this 1.5 lakh rupees treatment will be given under Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana or Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan. Okay, so they cannot, now see, under Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan, you can take a treatment from a private hospital also. So private hospitals, they are treating the people under Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan and they get money from the government. So if any roadside accident, if any road accident victim has come to them and wants some help, the hospitals can give, and they will get money under the Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So this is a very good step. Okay, and this money will be given from the motor vehicle accident fund. So this will ensure that in golden hour they get a help. Okay, now the National Health Authority will be the implementing agency for the program. National Health Authority will be the implementing agency. So this is all about this particular program, and now moving to next article. Fine. Okay, so here we see Modi will travel to Bhutan next week. So Prime Minister is scheduled to visit Bhutan next week. Okay, now guys, understand, as of now I will not advise you to go too much in detail in this particular article for the examination, fine, because not that much important. When he will visit, we'll see the outcomes that will come, fine. So for that reason I have taken out. However, the discussion will be around the Guelphu mindful city that is being developed. We have discussed. Right now, no need to go too much in detail. Study flags mixed implementation of Forest Right Act. So basically, Forest Right Act came in 2006 and recognizes the right of tribal and forest dwellers. Fine. So the land rights are recognized, and the community rights such as the rights on their rights on the community rights such as the rights on pond, water bodies, etc. are recognized. But this 2006 Forest Right Act for tribal and forest dwellers has not been properly implemented. And for that, Call for Justice, which is a Delhi-based organization, has done a study in the state of Assam, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Odisha, and Karnataka. And they have found that this act has not been properly implemented. Now, they are talking about the different districts. For example, in Assam, Dima, Hasao, fine. Hailakandi, they found the FRA in current form does not address the unique situation existing in northeastern states. So in northeastern states, many tribal people, they practice jhum cultivation. So jhum cultivation, it is not being recognized. In Chhattisgarh, decision making process is being delayed. Okay, so basically I will not advise you to go too much in detail in this, fine, because every district problem we are not need to go. But these particular sources, that the report of Call for Justice has indicated that implementation is not good. Such insights, such data can be pointed out, can be given in your answers. Okay, so this is guys all about it. And with this we come to an end to the today's session. I hope that you have understood it. Now we'll be meeting tomorrow. Till then, take care of yourselves, and if you have liked the video, please do hit the like button, because you can see the effort it takes to organize the content, to make mains practice question every day in the morning, and to compile it. Fine, so please do support the initiative. Thank you so much.